Welcome back, everyone, to the BowlWinkles Pro Shop Open. We are here for match play round of 8. This is single game traditional NEBA match play. And we are here in East Hartford, Connecticut at Hall of Fame Silver Lane's defending champion Jay Johnson just lost in the last round. This is NEBA event number 990. Bruce Hall with you back on the live stream. Great to be back with you guys. And with us in the booth for this round is our newly minted announcer, Mr. Kyle Rasmussen. How you doing, Kyle?
Good, Bruce. How are you?
And Mr. El Jefe himself, ball driller to the stars, and BuddiesProShop.com proprietor, Mr. Chris Forey. Hello, Christopher.
Hi, Bruce. Good evening.
How are you? Thank you for joining us. And like I said, we can now get some actual commentary on the shot and the pattern and how it's playing, as opposed to we posers trying to do that. So I'll let you actually tell us about the pattern, Chris. It's the 2023 BowlWinkles Pro Shop Open pattern, 42 feet. This is one of the custom patterns made for us by Tommy Hankey and Greg Tack off the pattern committee, headed by Jay Johnson. Ratio 5.17 to 1, 32.3 mils of oil. What do you see out of how to play this pattern?
I mean, the biggest thing on both sides of the lane, don't get the ball going right or left of 7, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, traditional medium pattern, play the track. Ball speed was really important.
Sure was.
Surface and ball speed. I mean, so you had to get your ball to hook, and we talk about this on any pattern. You got to get your ball to hook in that 30-foot, 35-foot zone. You got to get your ball to be transitioning. It was easy to blow through it if you didn't have surface or slow enough ball speed to pick up. So obviously, Bill Webb and I talked to us before the finals. He said the guys you're going to see make a good run in the finals will be guys that can keep their ball speed down. And I think if you look at everybody, that's pretty much matched up perfectly, you know.
Tyler Levesque is crushing it. He has a wonderful look.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, I mean, I would guess I haven't watched Joey Trance too much other than the match against Amanda a little bit. Same thing. I mean, he just got a ton of hand. Doesn't throw hard. Got enough hand to get his ball to curve in the middle of the lane. The guy that's probably the sneaky guy right now is Kilborn, who doesn't really curve it a lot. Hartbarger, same thing. Very good at keeping the ball in front of him. So, I guess
even Brockett here, look at how slow he's throwing it just to let it read.
Yeah, I mean,
come around.
Yeah, I mean, you had to, at least that's what I saw, and you could still see it. Ball speed's important. Like I said, you could use surface, but you really had to keep your ball slow to try and make sure it didn't get on the other side of the track. If you get on the other side of the track, you have no chance of getting it there.
Never recover, yeah. I can't remember. Now that you mentioned that, it's interesting. I had a number of games where I would go spare, double, and I'm relaxed and everything.
That's
and all
the
of a
problem.
sudden, I throw it through, and it's a 3-pin. And I'm like, do I move? Am I getting more comfortable, getting more aggressive? You know, and I'm really going for it. And you're right. You just get it a little fast, and you just go right through it.
It was really a focus thing. Webb and I, like, second game today, I had like a 3 or 4. I think I had like a triple or something like that. And I'm feeling pretty good. Made a ball change. Threw it slow. Got up and didn't think about it. And the ball off my hand was in the same line. And at 2-8-10, I came back. I actually laughed because I just threw a normal shot. Didn't think about decelerating at the bottom to get the ball to hook. And that became like Jeremy and Webb, and we rolled together, and we were just like, yeah, you got to really think about it. There's Jeremy. And Jeremy's ball reaction is really good. He's throwing a pin down phase 2. I honestly thought pin-up balls were a little better on the pattern because you need the ball to stand up sooner. So pin-up balls will read the mid lane faster or friction faster. So I thought that was a better idea. And you can see, like, he's obviously Tyler's got a pin up. He's using a really tall pin ball. Kilborn, tall pin ball. So Jeremy's probably the only guy throwing pin down, which this morning he threw a pin up IQ Tour, shot 300 out of the gate. So
yeah. And rode it to 78 over to make the cut. So
and he grinded the whole time. Yeah, he didn't panic.
Yeah.
You know, it was easy. Yeah. I think it was easy probably to say, oh, I need to panic, but Jeremy just kept it up the middle of the lane, and he kept saying, oh, I need to move, I need to do this. I'm like, just keep it in play.
How many times did you see 2-teen, 160, 180, 2-teen?
Crossing his house is always so hard.
Time, yeah.
Crossing the house is hard. We talk about it every time we come here. You know, it's bays.
3 bays.
Oh, it's more. I mean,
even within the bays.
To me, on this side of the house, it's every 4 lanes is different. Over there, the small side, not too different across the building. But you get over here, it's like every 4 lanes is different. I'll let you.
By the way,
we're watching.
The match is right in front of us. Didn't call him out, but it's really interesting. Jeremy Hartbarger, of course, defeated Chris Monroy. He's bowling Tristan Erickson. That's right.
Knocked out Bill Webb
here. He knocked out Bill Webb. So we got some big names going down by these survivors. And like you say, I think it's the unique role that's getting them through. over on 33 and 4, it is Tyler Levesque with that slow roll with the two-hander against Matthew Brockett. And Brockett coming off a victory against Mann, who was way up on 41 and 2, and then out in the Netherlands, the next bay up. And here's Joey Transer just threw it through the.
And that was a classic example. The camera probably didn't pick up. I mean, you have to look to the left, but Joey's shot. I was going to say Joey is probably the guy that throws it the fastest, him and Reynolds a little bit of the guys that are left. But Rich has more paul than her. I mean,
Rich
Joey,
is not throwing it hard.
But I'm saying, but Joey has more paul than everybody.
Yeah.
But on that shot there, he just accelerated, and the ball had zero chance of trying to hook down lane.
Speaking of Rich Reynolds, our sponsor this week, he's up on 37 and 8 against Tyler Hearn. Tyler snuck out a win, striking in the 10th against Jay Johnson, another Bowler of the Year last year knocked out. We do have on 31 and 2, it is Jeremy Hartbarger against Tristan Erickson. We mentioned that. 29 and 30 to our left, it is Joey Transu against Sean Kilborn. So here's the part in the show where we pick our winners. So what do you guys think? Who do you like?
An honest pick from the beginning would have been Transu. My heart goes with Hartbarger, a good family friend. He's just a grinder. He's gotten so much. You know, we were talking about this, Widmer and I were. He's gotten so much better in the last 6 years. He used to just throw hard, straight. He's learned how to play. He's in every final, and the harder they are, the better he bowls.
That's right.
He's like a Salamini to an extent, you know. Has a little trick roll thing. He's learned how to work with it, and so my heart goes with him. But I think Transu is you're a Hall of Famer, and there's a reason you're a Hall of Famer.
What do you think, Kyle? Who do you like?
Well, first, Chris, you said that Hartberger's one of your good friends. But
yeah.
I seem to recall you telling him not to go Brooklyn on the 12th.
No, I told him to go Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. So
I said do the Manchester. He threw the front 8 at Manchester, all Brooklyn.
that's unbelievable.
All Brooklyns? 8 Brooklyns in a row?
I think he had like probably 7 of 8, and we joked around like, why move?
I seem to recall at one of your events, Buddy's Pro Shop Open.
It's easy to do that there.
I threw 3 Brooklyns in the 10th against my opponent. They were not very happy, but I didn't move.
My father used to say,
6 all 3 times.
Sometimes when they're hard, and Manchester was hard last year, and my father used to say, when they're hard and you're going Brooklyn, you don't move because that's probably your best look.
You didn't make them easy either.
Never.
I seem to recall Chuck coming up and saying, this isn't a sport pattern, this isn't a reverse block pattern, this pattern is impossible, and he turned the lanes on. So
checkerboard.
Guys, a couple notes in the chat. We have someone watching from Southern Oregon, Deborah Muno. Welcome, Deborah. And we have
Viallis are in Aruba. Amy just
right,
said shout out from Aruba,
Hi
so
from
shout out to the Viallis. But
that's right. On vacation and watching the live stream, guys. That crystal blue water is calling you. So there you go. And we have another a prediction. Brockett beats Rich Reynolds in the finals. So we have a Brockett Rich Reynolds shows. I have to see if that's even possible in the bracket. Actually, they will meet each other. If they both win, they'll meet each other in the next round, unfortunately. So
they usually is side by
that's not
side.
possible. So I'm going to take Tyler Levesque.
He's looking good right now.
And I'll tell you,
took
he
my
looks
pick.
really solid. Well, we can have the same pick. I mean, I should take our sponsor, Rich Reynolds.
Well, that's
just
what I was
because
going to
he's our
take.
sponsor,
If you were
Rich
taking
Reynolds.
Levesque, I'll take Reynolds.
I did say to Widmer, I said, you know how cool it would be for Rich Reynolds win his own tournament?
It would be the best. We have to think if that's ever happened.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Winning your own sponsored tournament. I was hoping to win with Andrew at the
maybe
Alex
doubles, winning one of the Strike FX events, possibly like the
Why,
doubles event.
At East Providence, I don't believe you.
But he never won. He won the over/under, but
How could that ever happen?
I know.
Alex win at East Providence.
He might have won. He won the over/under Dupuis. I wonder what the name of that tournament was when he won that one. I'd have to look that up. He did win with Dupuis 2 years ago, the over/under.
Yeah. Well,
at
he
EP.
beat Andrew and I.
Yeah.
No, Andrew and I were trying to defend, and we beat them the year before, and then they came back and won the next year.
Yeah. So that'd be like the only time I could think of that happening.
Yeah. But for a singles event,
that'd be pretty
Rich
awesome.
Reynolds with a good chance.
And he's up by a little bit. Currently,
He's
nobody's
up
got a strike.
He's up a mark.
Those pairs, 37 to 40, are probably the hardest ones in the building.
So you
Great
have
shot there
you have
by
Transu.
I'm going to pick Transu. Like I said, my
Now, if you saw just what happened on 33, I got to tell you, I'm disappointed at the cleaning of the back ends here because I left a flush 9-pin.
There were some pins that spinning and
slid,
sliding.
It slid to the right, to the 9.5 spot. That was a 5-pin that just slid to the left. and should have gone. So I don't know what's happened to the cleaning regimen here. There's a lot of sliding pin. I've never seen it here before.
Sometimes that's not really. So just being a guy that works on the, being a nutmeg and working on stuff, it's not always about cleaning. It comes down to putting there's Pindex spray you can put on now.
Oh yeah.
That creates like a little grit on the.
Oh, is that right? To give it a little friction.
Yeah. So you're almost like roughing them up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I don't think a lot of
they need it.
I don't think a lot of centers do. Well,
historically it's been that they didn't clean the decks.
Yeah,
the decks have residual oil on them.
Yeah,
and it's a symptom of not taking care of the lanes. So, and is that what's happening here? Yeah, I don't know.
And like I said, possibility. I mean, we did put more volume on the lane.
Yeah, 32. It's interesting. I wonder if 32 mils in just this short amount of time has put enough on the deck that you got sliding pins.
It's
hard to believe.
It's hard to clean it all off when you have
that might be. I don't know. It was happening last night, though.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, yeah. I saw it a few times on the 6 o'clock squad last night. So pretty good turnout here today, Mr. Forey. 211 entries, 48 qualifiers, 29 seniors, 22 supers, 13 women.
Sean Kilburn, he got a pretty good look.
Sure does.
He's throwing a piece of charcoal, playing like right in the track,
and not too fast, like you say. There's no fireballers left.
I gotta say he's probably pretty. You say he's pretty firm and straight there, guy. But yeah, he's trying to go after it. Looks like he's using a Obsession Tour maybe.
So him and Harburger are playing them pretty similar.
Yep, just right inside the track.
Right in the track.
And Tyler Hearn's in a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, sure is. And that's he's laying down for the sponsor. Have to give him kudos for that. Tyler Levesque, meanwhile, packs one on 34.
He's gripping and ripping. But again, he's not flame throwing it. He's just slow curving it to the track.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty big ball, pretty tall pin, slow ball speed.
That one he just yanked.
Yeah, it looks like he's using a Sherlock maybe?
Sherlock or a Parallax effect. I can't tell which one it is.
Yeah, one of the two there.
Similar, but.
I don't see this gold in it, so I think it might be a Sherlock.
The Parallax effect had the gold and the greenish, almost, yeah.
Be interesting to see which one it is, but either way, he's just tall pin. You can see the ball stand up really quick in the mid lane, so it keeps it from getting to the cliff.
I think you're right. That may be a Sherlock.
Yeah, I think
that was about 7 left of his other ones. And Kilburn, as we say, how great he's doing. He goes 3, 6, 9, 10, and gets 3.
Yeah, that was that's the curse right there.
That was bad announcer's curse.
Well, Chris, I want to say congratulations to your stable of guys. 4 of them making the TV show. Or should I say TV shows for the TOC, and great to see those guys making it. And
I like the concept.
Doing well out there.
I like the concept of that. I think it's obviously tournament champions. Like we were just saying, there's a lot of 17 people. They're all people you've seen on TV before. But I like the concept. They're going to do the same thing at the World Championships. They're going to do 12 people though. It just gives an opportunity to see more faces on TV. When you
and they spend all that money to set up the set, and they want to have more content.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. And the other thing that Tom
Joey.
Clark said, great shot by Joey for 4 in a row. The other thing that Tom said was you can only drop one spot. I mean, that's the nice thing about it is you don't see these dramatic moves, up and down, the prize list.
Sorry about that.
So. And they were figuring odds to make it from 17 to 1. It was like 0.000.
They honestly should have. I mean, obviously, I think if whoever bowled the first match, there should have been like a bonus. There should have been different bonuses for each level. It would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you win from this slot, we're going to pay you, we'll say 10 grand.
Yeah.
We'll say from the bottom one, you're going to get a 10 grand bonus. If you win from this spot, you get 8 grand. And it goes down as you go up the list.
I'm sure you could buy insurance for that. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying, but you just do it as you go up the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting concept.
And Packy came all the way from the PTQ.
He came from the PTQ, was out of the PTQ.
Yeah, Mike Devaney
decides not to bowl. So Packy was a little fried.
Gets all the way to the show.
Gets to a show. They've been a little challenging this year for him. We had a new game plan 3 weeks ago, when they had that one off week. We game planned. Of course, when things aren't going well, they start calling me or texting, and it became like sometimes the problem on tour is guys drill too many balls, and they have this wide variety of stuff. And it happens to league guys or everybody, but particularly out there, they have so much access to all this equipment, so they start drilling balls. And next thing you know, you have this randomization of balls, and there's no sequence to it, and you have no idea what you're doing. So it just became like, okay, kid, here now, I really jinxed him.
Yeah, things falling apart for Kilburn with Transit with 5 in a row, and Kilburn with now a 6-7. Looks like back-to-back opens.
Levesque actually just went 8-1 here. Brackett's getting up, can double.
Yep,
and,
double, take the lead. And a 7-10 hole. That's
And
not maybe get it, maybe
might
get
get
it,
the
maybe
10.
get it.
That was pretty common too. I saw.
Ball behind the head pin a little bit. It's just
yeah.
flat in the middle.
Yeah, and I hate to tell you that both myself and my compatriot, super senior, both left 7-9s. It was a shame, but that's the way it works. So.
Yeah. So real quick. So I mean, so we sit down and I tried to like brainstorm a packing and be like, you know, hey, pick out your 3 or 4 best balls you like out of the, in his case, the Brunswick family. Okay, now drill just a bunch, like 2 or 3 of this one, 2 or 3 of this one, all with similar, different pin heights, but same pin to PAP. Keep it that way. Ball changing simplified.
Yeah.
And then he's bowled well the last couple weeks. So I mean, you know, so just trying to let's get rid of all this stuff you got.
Oh,
the stuff that's added to all this confusion because you got a 1-inch pinball, you got 2-inch, you got 4-inch, you got all this different variety.
And you're trying to be in the moment with all that great talent, and then now you're trying to
now you're
sort
questioning
through
what's right, what's
questioning
wrong.
yourself, and
So yeah,
it's hard enough to concentrate anyway, and then you add complexity to it, and it just makes it that much harder.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm just a shrink. You saw my phone last night, you know, it's like blowing up over the last 2 nights. When, of course, they lose, then my phone, after about an hour,
Well,
my
I'm sure
phone
they're texting just to say hi and see how you're doing, right?
Yeah, if I showed you the text I get. But I understand the frustration. I've never been at their position. I tell them that all the time. I feel like I'm an okay bowler, but I'm never their level. So it's easy for us to be Sunday morning. Yep, it's easy for all of us to be like that, what do they call it, the armchair quarterback, you know, and sit there and question everything. But until you're on that show and you can throw it for the cheese like they do, it's
Let's check in on our matches real quick. Tyler with a 30-pin lead now, basically over Brockett.
There's not one strike, by the way, on the far right match.
It's
nothing. This is Rich Reynolds.
Oh, we do. We have our first one.
Strike.
First one just happened by Tyler Hearn.
Well, and Rich Reynolds just got his first open. He's only got a mark advantage.
Down by 1.
He's actually down by 1.
He's down by 1.
Oh, because he's lost count.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Here's Joey Transu looking to extend his streak. Another flush strike. Transu walking away with this match. He only needs to beat 216. He's got that handily beat. We'll pencil Transu in for the top 4.
In actuality, real quick, if anybody's listening, Reynolds, well, until that, had a 9-pin. He actually had a 9-pin lead until that.
Yeah, how about a 4-9?
Now it's back. Now it's an even match.
Thank you so much, says Rich.
Actually, he gets 1 pin here. He'll be down two pins.
Hartberger right in front of us, down 13. And
Brockett struggling with some pin carry.
Out of room.
Brockett can only get to 209.
Yeah, so he's running out of room.
I think Transu might be throwing the MV Tour, possibly.
Hard to tell from here.
I think with the white pin there, I think that's an MV Tour. It's all
Is
black.
It white?
No. Well, the white locator pin, the mass bias.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Forey, you are one of many fantastic sponsors we have this year. It is, yes, I'd like to take credit for that. Thank you. BuddiesProShop.com adds $10,000 to the Paul Ford Memorial. By the way, these 8 bowlers have all qualified for 8 of the 64 slots at the end of the season for the playoffs, and they will add their names to the. Wow, there's a double pinochle by Brockett. That's pretty much the end of that match. So this is added. The 8 here added to the 8 that were at the doubles, which was Borges, Viali, Reynolds, Smith, Chris Larson, John Kirker, Dennis Bissonette, and Justin Veal.
So we have our first duplicate, which last year took until like the last week.
I know. We had almost no duplicates. It was amazing.
So Rich Reynolds is a duplicate.
Rich Reynolds is a duplicate, and the way it works is any duplicates will go to the NEBA points list who haven't already made it, and they will round out that 64, and then we start having the playoffs. And we have tournaments where you have to show up for a specific squad. And the 64, for example, will be in the 9 a.m. squad. I don't have the dates in front of me, but we'll take 32 off that, and then they will advance to the next round of the playoffs. And then finally, when we get down to the 16?
We go
32?
We go 64, 48, 32, and then we pay the top 20 out of the 32.
Yeah, thank you. Top 20 out of 32. We get down to 32, and then we pay the top 20. Yep. So there you go.
So we can say Transu's moving on. We can say that.
So the question is from Chris Page, can someone please teach Tristan Erickson to bowl this well during league?
Well,
we'll have to talk to Tristan. And Tristan now
maybe
only with a 6-pin lead. He's got a double and all the rest marks. Actually, both of these bowlers are clean. Just Jeremy hasn't been able to put a double together here on 31 and 2.
Yeah, we actually have two pretty close matches here because Herman just opened down on 37 and 8 against Reynolds.
That's not good. This is what he did against Webb. He did the exact same thing. The 6, 7, 10 in the 9th frame.
Yeah.
That's a ball change to an exotic gem.
Yep, he's got
rolls the 2.
a couple of frames here to try some different stuff.
And now Jeremy Hartbarger looks like, unless he can pull this off, Jeremy Hartbarger will take the lead on the bench here in 31 and 2. And Jeremy can get up and close this match out, as now Tristan has a max of 200. Jeremy pacing to 198.
198, yep.
So he can close it out just by doubling and marking.
It looks like Herman's stepping up here. He's got 112 in the 8th on an open.
172 possibility.
And looks like Reynolds is 192 out. Am I correct?
Well, he's pacing 172.
So chance of a tie.
Yeah.
Imagine that, a tie with 1 strike in the whole match.
Hartberger.
Now we have 2 strikes.
This is a big
2,
shot
sorry.
right here.
That's pretty
That's
good.
good.
So beautiful shot there by Jeremy.
That was a good one.
Give him the double and the lead. He just needs a mark now to close it out.
It's like Levesque tried another ball there.
He went to a Zen Soul.
Transu will
That's
cruise.
it. Doesn't make a difference.
Reynolds.
Jeremy
up at the
Hartbarger
9.
mark to win.
Flat 10.
Flat 10. So
now he's down 1.
Down 1 in the count and overall.
Wow. And that's the 9th frame in that match down there.
Well,
We're talking about the match on 39 and 40. 37 and 8, sorry. Rich Reynolds.
So if Rich makes a spare and strikes out, he wins. He doubles, he wins the match. If he paces out, then Hearn gets up and strikes out to win by 1.
Jeremy Hartbarger stuffs the first one of the 10th to punch his ticket.
That is going to get him into the semifinals.
So 2 of my horses are alive. I'm allowed to pick 2 since I'm a guest.
It's fair.
You're no guest.
I got strong-armed into a pick.
You're no guest.
I got strong-armed into being here.
You're a staple. You're a staple of the live stream experience. So it will be Joey Transu against Jeremy Hartbarger on 33 and 4. And we have Tyler will move over to 31 and 2. And he will face the winner of the Hearn-Reynolds match.
So, yeah, it looks like we really want to just focus here on the Reynolds match.
Yeah, Reynolds needs a double to win.
Now, Hearn has a strike up in the 9th.
But he can only get to 172.
Wow.
So Rich doubles, he gets into the 180s or high 170s.
Wow, what a
depending
match.
on count. So he must double.
Tough match.
That's going through the
And
flat 10 again.
10 again.
So now he's got 170 out.
Yep, so now it's now a double 9.
You tie.
No, double 9 is a win.
Double 9, yeah, I'm sorry. Double 9 is a win. Double 8 is a tie.
Currently.
Currently.
That's if he makes it.
I'm going to pencil in the spare. I mean,
With the approaches the way they are, I don't pencil in anything.
You will learn. You will learn, my friend.
The obstacle course of the approaches.
When you wear the headset, don't pencil anything.
Yeah, we assume that everybody's a good spare shooter like that.
And
I clipped
that
it.
wasn't exactly flush onto the 10 pin, but he does.
He had it the whole way. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm thinking. What am I?
So now count is big because he wants to strike to force Tyler to get at least 9 on a fill.
All right. So what are the exact scores, guys? Where are we at?
Well,
so
we're going to tell you in 1 second. So
170 if he
170
strikes.
and then 172 max for Tyler.
Okay, so Tyler must strike.
He must double.
He must double no matter what.
Yeah.
That looks
Okay.
good.
That's good. Of course,
Great
it strikes.
shot there. There's
that
the
one
strike.
strikes. That one strikes.
All right, Tyler Hearn up on 38 now, must double and get what, 9?
Double 9 is a winner.
Double 9 for 171. Imagine that. Meanwhile, it's Joey Transu, Jeremy Hartbarger, Tyler Levesque, and the winner of this match. If it's Tyler Hearn doesn't double, it's going to be our sponsor, Rich Reynolds, in the top 4. Which means all of our picks are still alive, right?
There's a ball change by Tyler on the right lane.
He went to a Zen.
He guts it out. Flushes the first one.
He was throwing the Ruby.
Huge shot there. Oh yeah, the new Ruby.
He was throwing the Ruby, and now he went to the Zen here in the last frame.
So the Ruby smells like cherry cough drops, right? It's nice. People like it, right?
Yeah, awesome.
This is the IQ. Yeah. yeah. I felt my nasal passages clearing when
I will say people are really liking that ball. It's besides being a big seller just because of IQ Pearl, but performance-wise, the ball actually reminds us a lot of the gold ball where it picks up in the mid lane really hard.
That's what everybody on tour is looking for.
I love that.
Yeah, mid lane's always what you're looking for.
Everybody everywhere is looking for that. Here's the shot. Tyler Hearn must strike.
Must strike.
Chris Forey trying to wave Tyler Levesque over for a little coaching.
No, I'm trying to get him off
way
the
right. Throws it out the window. It will be Rich Reynolds advancing, coming over to face Tyler Levesque on lanes 31 and 2. And guys, we will be right back with the semifinal match. And Mr. Forey, can you stay with us?
Oh, I'll be here.
Yay. Okay. We'll see you in a little bit, guys. Thanks. Bye.